Low Carbon Passport is a funded programme through the Construction Industry Training Board's Industry Impact Fund, and it's providing online and in-person training all around the principles of low energy buildings.
So specifically looking at the materials that go into it, giving people awareness of the limitations of either some materials or the skill sets to manage those materials or handle those materials. All of these kinds of challenges that present themselves depending on where you are in the construction life cycle, but specifically just trying to give everybody that overarching introduction to the need for continuous insulation, the need for continuous air tightness line, the need for effective wind tightness layers and the encapsulation that goes with that, the need to minimise thermal bridging, and fundamentally the impact on building performance that mistakes along the lines of these aspects have, and how that may affect things like moisture control in the future or energy performance in the future, and fundamentally the way we feel when we're inside our building.
Low energy buildings are really important for our future built environment, but also for our existing built environment. So through retrofit, whether that's increasing the building's energy performance through fabric measures or decarbonising the heating systems within buildings. So all of that's really important for lowering our carbon emissions globally. In Scotland, there are a lot of policies that are driving the increased design specifications and standards around low energy buildings, and programmes like this are there to ensure that the workforce is skilled and ready to help deliver those.
We're going to try and see how we can make our buildings fail. Once you've done that, cut along that line and nothing else.
Right, what we got? One here, 2, 7, 8, 3.
What we're going to do now is test and see how much pressure we can get versus how much pressure will stay in the box, all right?
It's been a really good opportunity with our group in terms of networking opportunities, getting to know some of our clients and partnering organisations and working together as a team, and I think it'll really give us a really good insight into looking out for some of the key aspects of detailing on site that reduces the performance gap, and quality assurance is a key aspect of what we do on a day-to-day basis.
With courses like this, kind of open your eyes to what's actually going on. Once you're doing it as well, it makes you you're more likely to go and maybe find out more, maybe try and put what you've learned today into actual practice.
Key takeaways is the focus on quality. Over time and costs, we really need to make sure that the quality of what we're doing, what we're building for the future, meets the standards that we need to achieve.
I think it's just that if something doesn't feel right, question and make sure it's right, because it's much easier to fix at the start than it is at the end.
The way we build is changing at a rapid pace, and as a social landlord, we need to make sure that we are adhering to the new standards, and the only way we can make sure we are adhering to those standards is by doing training courses like this.
It doesn't really matter of your role, you have a responsibility to kind of be aware of the bigger picture. So the more people we have aware of the bigger picture, the more we can communicate in a kind of balanced and level way. So if everybody's talking the same language, then it helps us as an industry to kind of move forward as one.
There's a lot of growth to be done in terms of how much energy is being expended by companies, by the government, on making sure that we are actually moving forward towards the right goals and seeing that step change, that realistically we need to ensure carbon capture to ensure that we are limiting the damage that we're doing to the environment when we do actually have, the materials and facilities in order to make that happen.
The legacy of the Low Carbon Passport programme is that we hope that there's a skilled and knowledgeable workforce, but thinking about our future and incoming workforce, there's a network of colleges across Scotland, from Inverness to the borders, from Glasgow to Dundee, who we've provided resources and upskilling to educators so that they'll be equipped to deliver this Low Carbon Passport training to their own learners beyond 2026.
The time for discussion is sadly past. We're living in a climate emergency. The need for collective action is really where we are now, and that's what we're trying to achieve.